Good morning, everybody. In American history, we have seen lots of ebb and flow regarding a lot of different issues. One of those issues has to do with civil rights. In 1954, the Supreme Court made a huge and critical and landmark decision called Brown versus Board of Education regarding the segregation of public schools. It ruled that segregation was unconstitutional. Now, you have to understand that this was the result of the case that was presented by Oliver Brown, who was the father of Linda Brown. He attempted to enroll her in an elementary school in Topeka, Kansas, but was not allowed to because of segregation laws. He did so because he said that the black schools were inferior. And so he filed a lawsuit based on a constitutional provision that says equal protection under the law. Well, his lawsuit found its before the U.S. Supreme Court, where at first one justice was not too in favor of the lawsuit, but that justice died, and Earl Warren became the Chief Justice and was able to work it out so that the court ruled unanimously in favor against segregation, saying that separate but equal was not equal. It violated the Equal Protection Clause of the U.S. Constitution. Despite the ruling of the U.S. Supreme Court, despite that ruling, there were schools and districts across the United States that were resistant. They did not want to change. And so in 1955, another ruling was issued by the Supreme Court requiring districts to change their ways and policies. That was called Board of Education, Brown versus Board of Education, Part 2. Well, as is always the case, there are still those who are resistant. One of those people who was resistant was Governor Orville Faubus in Arkansas Governor Orville Faubus. What happened was the NAACP decided to test the new decision. They organized a group of students to go ahead and enroll. They enrolled 9 students to attend Little Rock Central High School. When that happened, first of all, the students were given counseling. They were deliberately selected for their abilities and their mental strength and for everything that could be good quality in terms of their ability to withstand pressure and just take the terrible heat that they would probably endure while going to their classes. They went through counseling sessions to be prepared for what might be said to them and how to respond. Well, September 4th, 1957 is when the students were to arrive. They were called the Little Rock Nine. Governor Faubus made it very clear he would not allow them to enter the building. He had National Guard troops sent in to stop them. Interestingly enough, there was a carpool set up to bring the students to the school. 8 students were able to make the carpool. One, Elizabeth Eckford, was not able to make the carpool because their parents didn't have a phone. She ended up walking to school. The 8 that were brought to the school were prevented by the National Guard from entering in. That was September 4th. And then when Miss Eckford showed up, she was surrounded and spat upon and just very badly treated by the crowd of protesters. The guard, of course, prevented her from entering in. That caused Judge Ronald Davies to step in and ordered that Faubus not take out the National Guard, ordered the National Guard be removed, ordered Little Rock Police to step in. So on September 23rd, the Little Rock Police attempted to escort the 9 students into the building. They faced a lot of protesters and a lot of violence, so that attempt was withdrawn. Then President Eisenhower sent in 1,200 troops into, they were the 101st Airborne, Little Rock. They were ordered to escort the 9 students in, so that on September 25th, 1957, the students were escorted in by the president's order of 101st Airborne U.S. troops. They were escorted in by the U.S. troops into the high school to start their first day of classes. Now, they still faced a lot of anger. They faced a lot of bad treatment. But as we said before, they were counseled on this. But it was good at first, but then it got worse as the year progressed. That was the beginning of what would be considered a long struggle to have integration in the public schools. Schools were still resistant, but that move by the president was a very key move in allowing the Brown versus Board of Education decision to become a reality. Thanks for watching.